We're joined by Vladimir Matias from God's Partners, Russia. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, first of all, was it a little bit of a blunder, the fact that actually the Deputy Prime Minister yesterday said Tony Hayward was ready to resign when it was in fact denied just an hour later by BP?
Yeah, that's right. The fact is that Sechin is maybe basing his judgments on the American judgments and American statements coming from US and not from Russia. But behind this growing Russian attention, we might suspect some Russian interest in BP shares, 50% in TNK BP, which is a core asset of BP in Russia and accounting for almost 25% of reserves, BP overall reserves and oil output. So it's quite a significant asset for the company here in Russia, and the interest behind this stake from the Russian side could be quite significant as well.
Now, Vladimir, what Bloomberg News has learned is that actually Mr. Tony Hayward hasn't discussed his future with Mr. Sechin, but what they did discuss, as you're saying, is their stake in Rosneft and TNK BP. How can we be sure that BP actually wants to hold on to these assets?
There is no assurance on this, and BP again is very much interested because it is one of the biggest assets abroad at all, and it is hardly imaginable that BP would be selling this asset because they need sustainable reserve base and sustainable oil output, producing over 3 million barrels per day. So where Russia is accounting again 1/4 of it.
So what do you think, Vladimir, was actually the reason for his visit to Russia? Does the government actually need assurance from BP that they're sticking around, that they have the money to continue providing viable resources?
I don't think that Russians are very much interested and worried about whether BP has money, because TNK BP is a fully autonomous, fully independent, operationally fully independent company in Russia, being absolutely well funded, absolutely performing well, and this is not a Russian interest. I think the Russian interest is again assuring that BP is again focusing on Russia, that BP is not going to divest its assets, and possibly having some talks on whether BP would be considering a sell-off of 50% in TNK BP, or maybe parts of its assets in Russia.
Do you believe, Vladimir, that actually if Tony Hayward didn't give the right assurances to the government, that they would try and keep TNK BP all to themselves?
I believe he did. I believe he did assure Mr. Sechin and the government that BP is very much focused on Russia and interested. However, we don't know what Mr. Sechin and the Russian government and the Russian shareholders are conveying as messages to BP. Maybe, and some recent conflict between the Russian shareholders and BP last year, maybe some of these remaining issues are also being discussed. We don't know about that. But we certainly know that Mr. Hayward is very much interested in continuing operations in Russia.
Vladimir, thank you so much. Vladimir Matias there from God's Partners over in Moscow.